Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Two Schmo Show. I'm the artistic, edgy one, and I'm a schmo.
I'm the old one, and I'm a schmo.
Oh yeah, you had a birthday, didn't you?
I did.
Feeling your age yet?
Many years more than it.
Why?
Just tired.
Oh,
I know I'm young, relatively speaking, but it really doesn't feel like it some days.
dude, does that ever weird you out? Like how young we are, relatively speaking?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like there are people who are in their 40s, twice my age. And that's such a weird concept to me that they're like literally
hmm
twice my age.
yeah.
It's not right.
It's weird.
And then I'm scared about turning 25 soon because then people twice my age are gonna be 50. So I'm gonna be in my
Right.
quarter life crisis.
Quarter life crisis. I was thinking about that though. Like, when does a midlife crisis start at this point? With the way, because it's like before it was like in the sort of late 30s, early 40s, but as late as people are, long as people are living now on average, I don't know.
I'm not sure either. Um, I think my midlife crisis is going to be after the robot blew the other robot up in the middle of the desert.
Nice. Yeah.
But tis topical humor.
Topical humor. Yeah.
They're gone.
So I guess let's jump into it.
Uncle Daft
Daft
Punk,
Punk is no more.
Uncle and Aunt Daft Punk broke up.
It's crazy.
It is the end of an era for electronic music. Cause
I
what?
I don't think it's the end of an era, but it's the end of a legacy.
Yeah, I mean,
Because what they've started is definitely going to keep going on, but it's something.
uh, I'm kind of. You know how I want that video to end? To be honest,
How's that?
you know how like the last one of them is just like walking off into the desert while Touch is playing in the background.
Mhm.
I was really hoping the weekend would show up in like a like little red Corvette or something and like picks him up and is like, "Come on, we're making music."
Oh, no.
Uh,
I do want to. So Daft Punk announced their. I don't even know what to call it because, as far as anyone knows, they're still, neither of them are individually stopping making new music. It's just sort of the end of Daft Punk as a collective group.
yes.
But they did it in a very Daft Punk style by just releasing a video titled Epilogue that's 7 minutes long, and it's just so well produced from front to back. It's just really good.
It's a touristic piece of film
It is.
cuz like you kind of like I don't know. I'm very curious the first people to watch that video not knowing what it was, how their reactions
Yeah.
were.
I mean, it would have to be a fucking roller coaster, but like even right from the start, you can immediately tell that something is up
Yeah.
as soon as the one starts to slow down.
Yes. So for those of you who have not seen Epilogue, it is basically the two robots walking in the desert.
You know what? No,
What?
go watch it. Go
Fair.
watch it because it's only 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
worth it. It's
Uh,
very well worth it.
we'll wait.
Wait, we set a timer.
I'll set a timer.
No,
Right.
pause the video. Hey, while we're waiting, we can
Yep.
talk about something else.
Okay.
So I am blowing up on Reddit right now.
What'd you do?
It's Reddit. I made a post. So there are many Magic the Gathering subreddits,
Of course.
and there is one that I frequent that is called Magic the Circle Jerking, which is a circle jerk subreddit where the idea is to parody and make fun of the main subreddit.
Yes.
And somebody posted a picture of something they did. It was admittedly pretty cool, where they made a Lego model out of, or a Lego model of a Magic card, but they posted it like superimposed over the original art of the Magic card that's kind of iconic. And they're like, I turned a Magic card into a Lego model. Can you guess the card? And it's immediately very obvious what it is.
Sounds like
So
great
I
humor.
I think that they were just like not thinking it through. Maybe I don't know. It's hard to tell because they seem to be pretty genuine in the replies. But I made a quick like 5 second Photoshop. It's only like 3 layers of a Lego T-Rex superimposed over the card Colossal Dreadmaw, which is just kind of a meme in the Circle Jerk subreddit at this point, with the same title of "I turned a magic card into a Lego model. Can you guess the card?" And it's been awarded like 5 times already. So I'm very happy with it.
I'm sure you are. Uh, for me, I've just had that little Nintendo Direct to latch onto all week. That's all my week has been.
So are you genuinely happy with what they revealed? Because I know a lot of people were not unhappy, I guess, but expecting to get more.
I was happy. I was
Okay,
just happy to
fair.
have a Direct.
True, that's true.
I went in with no expectations because my thought process of going through this was so this is the stuff that got delayed in 2021 into
Yep.
2021. That was entirely my thought process, seeing what we could have got in 2020.
For my perspective, the entirety that I know about it is just from Donkey's video.
Oh no.
I don't really watch directs. And I think his perspective on it was funny. It was amusing because this was apparently the anniversary 25th anniversary
35th.
of 35th anniversary of Zelda, Legend of Zelda,
Yeah.
something like that. And they kind of didn't have anything other than like, we're working. Sorry.
COVID was a mistake.
uh, I'm skimming through the Nintendo page though, and it looks like they did have some things to announce.
Oh yeah. They announced a
So,
remaster of Skyward Sword, which I'm not
yep,
exactly hyped for, but okay.
more Hyrule Warrior stuff.
Did they?
Yeah, DLC apparently.
I didn't see that.
Oh, that's loud. Why is that so loud?
Oh
DLC is
yeah,
coming
they
to
did. Okay, I remember
Hyrule.
now.
Did they actually like say what the DLC is?
I wanted them to. Well, okay. When they announced a triangle strategy, that working project thing, I'm excited for that.
Yes.
Terrible
That's
name.
fair. It's a terrible name. It's such a bad name, but that's fair. It does look fine.
I
I was amused by how many "we swear this isn't Octopath Traveler" RPGs there were that were announced.
oh yeah, I think Octopath definitely set a new standard for graphics when it comes to
It
RPG.
did.
Yeah.
And it works really well for the handheld system.
Yes.
It's a lot better than it's so I would compare it to how Game Freak has handled Pokemon,
Ooh.
and mostly how they've mishandled it graphically,
Go on.
because they started, in my opinion, the sprite based 2D Pokemon games visually are just way more interesting and engaging than any of the modern 3D ones,
Well, I would argue they're
because it's
iconic.
working around a limitation, and then the new ones are just like, yeah, we'll just upscale it to 3D and not really care. It just feels cheap
I
to me.
100% agree.
So seeing this sort of a return to 2D, but still with 3D elements, it's the same idea of working within the limitations of their handheld, but to a much greater end, and it really works. So I can't fault anyone for continuing to explore that avenue.
I would love to see a Pokemon game with that art style.
Oh, absolutely. That would be amazing.
Oh my gosh. What I find interesting about the name of this art style, by the way, is HD 2D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight
H
up. That makes sense.
it looks like a diorama, and it's like a living diorama. And that kind of
Hmm.
art style is just beautiful because it like makes
Oh, yeah.
everything feel more like a stage play almost too.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
And I'm saying this is someone who's played Octopath.
But, Mr. Orion, what are your thoughts on Splatoon 3?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I need to see more of it. I played Splatoon 2. I was actually
As
going.
someone who's never played Splatoon, it sure looks like more Splatoon.
That's kind of my problem with it. Like, I'm going to just
I
straight.
do like their I like their apocalyptic take that Paris is a hellish oh my god, a hellish wasteland.
My take on it is I went through to see how much I played the Splatoon 2 on my Switch.
Yeah.
I played it a lot more than I thought I did. So I should have a lot more opinions on this than I think I do. Um, it looks like you took the Splatoon 1 engine and you've just been riding it out for this whole franchise. I expected a little more growth from the third game in the series.
Did they upload I hope they uploaded these to YouTube.
What?
Their full direct.
Yeah, they do. That's how I watched
Okay.
it.
All of these trailers I've been trying to skim through look like absolute garbage
For what?
on their in their news article. They have like embedded YouTube links.
Oh no.
It all looks it's all like stuck in like 144p.
Wow.
It's gross. Okay, yeah, because like there's the part at the very start of the Splatoon 3 bit where it's like pulling the hood off, and it's I was like, I legitimately can't tell because of their embedded one if it's meant to be like a fake out thing, like it's not Splatoon, but it is Splatoon, or what.
I honestly thought it was a
It's very
spin-off.
obvious. Right, but it's still clearly Splatoon.
Yeah. Like here's the Splatoon 3, right? I'm showing this in the Discord. And
Yes.
yeah, then if you just pull off, I'm just going to try finding a random screenshot of Splatoon 1 cuz it literally looks like the same game. Um
No, it definitely does. And it kind of makes sense cuz since they're still stuck with the same limitations.
I just think they're producing them way too fast.
I
Which
wouldn't disagree.
yeah, they're starting to feel more like expansions rather than actual
Okay, but
installments.
how how the fuck is the Eiffel Tower upside down? I don't understand.
You can make an argument the lighting's changed on these games, but as for the
Yeah,
Eiffel
and they
Tower,
still have another year before it comes out.
yeah,
But the Eiffel Tower is upside down.
yeah.
Why?
Um, you want to hear the fan theory?
Please.
So, at the end of Splatoon 1, there was the Splatfest tournament to decide the plot line of Splatoon 2, kind of. And the final Splatfest of Splatoon 2 was between Order and Chaos. So, guess which side won?
I'm gonna go with chaos.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing we have going on for that.
So Paris got absolutely fucked.
Yeah, take that, Paris. Other
Has
than
Nintendo fixed their online systems at all?
I've never had a problem with them, but
Oh,
I
okay.
don't play Smash regularly.
Sure, that's fair.
I'll play Splatoon. I played Splatoon a lot, and it worked fine. I never had a problem with Splatoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not heard much about it, but what I have heard has not been super positive, so wasn't sure.
Um. Yeah. I don't know. I guess another problem is I don't play these games professionally enough to like
Right, that's
notice
fair.
inconsistencies. Um. Yeah.
Wow, they really didn't wait to jump in with the Mario Golf trailer. I was just like, bam, it's golf.
Did you see my tweet about that?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank goodness there's another Mario Golf. I thought that series was dead. Who asked for that, by the way?
Golf nerds
Golf nerds. When Mario
ruining
starts golfing with
everything.
Tiger Woods, then I'll start paying attention.
Yeah. Mario Golf. Mario commits a hit and run.
Jeez. Like, what's the point of golf? I never understood the game of golf in general.
Golf in general, I can appreciate. And I guess too, and I don't know, because it kind of all ties back into like arcade golf,
Yeah.
right? Because that was a pretty big thing.
Hmm.
I guess it's just an IP that they have that I guess makes money.
Or
Oh.
yeah, I guess.
I will say that the golf in like Wii Sports with motion controls was pretty fun.
I will agree to that. I'm surprised they haven't made a Switch version of Wii Sports.
Yeah. Well, they did.
They did.
Yeah.
What was it?
1-2 switch.
No, something good.
I didn't say it was a good version of it.
Ah, no, you did not. Ring Fitness, I guess you could say, is also it.
Yeah, that's true. Except it's like $80.
Don't you have that?
I was gonna get it until I found out it was 80 fucking dollars for a fitness RPG.
Yeah, wait for
I said,
clearance.
yeah, I'll wait for clearance. But apparently, it's a good game, and it's like sold out all the time. So I don't even know.
No way.
And it's a Nintendo property, so who fucking knows? It's fitness people, man.
Yeah, I guess if you did make the first good fitness game, everybody would be over all that.
Yeah, I mean, it seems from what I've heard, it's like the fitness aspects of it are actually solid. Just from like an exercise game on a console that you can do at home, it's not bad.
Wow.
And then add on to that like a very thin story to help make it engaging, and it just kind of works, I guess. Uh,
I was expecting some One Piece Game of Thrones level story, so no longer game I buy.
Fair.
Listen, fitness is a lifetime, uh, like a lifetime of work, right? So unless I have a lifetime of story, what's to keep me coming back?
If I sent you the RT game stream that he did of Wii Fit or
No.
whatever the fuck it's called, Ring Fit Adventure, he did a playthrough of like the first like a week's worth of it, and it's something.
It's something.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it good, but there's some ironic comedy that I hope that they were doing intentionally. So
Ouch.
there's one of the like loading screen tooltips has some dumb comment about I'm worried that I'm gonna get too fit or some
Whoa.
shit like that. It's terrible.
That reminds me, I beat my mile run record again, so take that, everybody. I am getting too fit. Did you see my mile run record?
No.
Oh, dude. Guess.
For a mile run,
Yes.
I honestly have no idea. Like 7 minute? I have no idea.
That's way too high.
I legitimately have no. I know like a 6 minute mile is what like track people are like hyped about. So I have no idea what a normal one is though.
No, I meant mine, like my record.
Yeah, I know. I have no perspective. I have no idea.
5 minutes, 42 seconds.
Oh, good shit.
Yeah. I'm too proud of that.
No, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
Like as far as I know, at least. I don't know much.
You don't know. I thought you were on your own fitness journey there, Kyril.
Yeah, but then I had like a bunch of junk food yesterday, and I've fallen off the wagon.
What? Okay, what kind of junk food?
So I made a bean dip for one.
A bean dip. 7 layers?
Yeah. No, it's like one layer, but it's mostly cheese.
Okay. I made a cheese dip with beans.
No, yeah, it is more cheese than beans.
Oh my god.
It's really not even a bean dip. It just uses like Frito Lay bean paste
That's probably not
for.
even bean.
No, it has real beans in it. There's not. It's mostly just beans and like water and preservatives.
Go on.
So it's that sour cream, cream cheese, seasoning, and cheese.
Okay then.
It gets all mixed together, and then you throw it in the oven for half an hour.
How good was it?
It's extremely good. It's dangerously easy to make.
I was in a chili cook-off over the weekend.
I did see that.
Yes. I'm very proud of my recipe.
How did that go?
So I made this recipe up. It is referred to as Satan's French kiss. Um,
Yes.
I wrote down the recipe with my girlfriend so I could talk about it on the show because I knew there was going to be a decent story out of this
Yeah.
while it was happening. Um, I just didn't expect it to go as far as it did. It's 1 pound turkey burger, 3 cans of fire roasted Rotel tomatoes and green chilies, 2 jalapenos, 1 can of banana peppers, chili powder, minced garlic, garlic salt, onion powder, sriracha sauce, and 1 medium onion with
Mm.
2 cans of Bush's medium chili beans.
Yep.
It's very tangy but spicy, and it burns the back of your throat a little, as any good chili does. Anyway, so I was doing a taste test for this chili, right?
Yep.
And it kind of catches me off guard and puts a little tear in my eye. Um, so I go to wipe away that tear with my finger, and guess what?
What?
I forgot that I never washed my hands after cutting the jalapenos.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was crying over a sink for half an hour.
It's not great.
That was the worst experience of my life. I thought I was going to go blind. Needless to say, kids, wash your damn hands. And wear a mask.
Yes.
Yes. I didn't
Oh
win the chili
boy.
cook-off though.
Oh, that's a shame.
I know. I gave myself
Those
honorary
things are.
third place.
That's good. Those things are weirdly competitive.
Aren't they? Well, it's.
Yeah, like I get it, but
I
that's
think.
also kind of weird.
I think it's because chili is like the bare minimum you need to say you cooked a dish. So
Yep.
you're literally putting everybody's cooking skills to the test with they don't when they don't have actual cooking skills.
Yep.
That's besides the point.
So I was reading a story here
Yeah.
about a California school board of which the entire school board resigned after accidentally live streaming a public meeting and not realizing it was public.
I
So
don't.
an entire California school board has resigned after making disparaging remarks about families in an online meeting which they did not realize was being publicly live streamed.
Oof.
Big oof. Quote, they want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back.
Oof.
Another implied that parents wanted their children out of the house so they could take drugs during the day.
Oof.
Parents had been joining the call as it progressed. Board member Kim Bede said, "Uh-oh, we have the meeting open to the public right now." The WebEx meeting immediately went into private status.
Ow.
Yeah, it's not great, but it is funny.
It's hilarious. And they're in California, so they're probably wear drugs. We going to talk about Texas.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Hearts and prayers go out to Texas right now, but
Yeah,
it's a show out there.
it is not good. So I don't even know how. I don't know how anyone would not be in the loop on this one, but it's winter and pretty much I don't remember what it was. Like 90% of the U.S. had sub-freezing temperatures one day last week.
Yes.
Some ridiculous amount of the country, including Texas, who received a pretty substantial amount of snow and ice, which crippled their infrastructure, to put it bluntly. uh People, I haven't heard like definitively what the continued cause of this has been, but for sure one of the major issues that they're facing was the unexpectedly high amount of electricity and just energy use in general from heating. People are trying to heat their homes in a place where that generally doesn't have to happen, and it led to massive power draws that were unexpected. I've also heard on top of that that there's been more like direct impact from the cold weather on infrastructure, like damaging the infrastructure in a way that made it inoperable. Um,
Yes.
but there's been God, like which part do you even start with dealing with the fallout of this? It's been one thing after another. So the immediate effect of it was that brownouts started happening all across Texas.
Yes.
Millions of people without power in weather that they are not equipped to deal with to stay warm in, which has resulted in plenty of people dying due to hypothermia being the most obvious cause, but also people doing anything that they can to stay warm, resulting in asphyxiation by like running cars when they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I did. I heard one specific report about a woman who died trying to stay in her car, running her car to stay warm. Um, but also reports of people with electric cars able to run the heaters in their electric cars because they don't make emissions. I mean, it's not good still, but in an emergency situation, it's a lot safer than running a gas engine in an enclosed space. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
um I don't know where to start with Texas because it's the
yeah,
I gave up swearing for Lent, so I can't use more proper words to describe
fair
this.
enough. It's pretty fucked up. The major problem that Texas is having right now is that 2015, I want to say. See if I can find it in this article real quick, see if they mention it. It doesn't look like they do. Um, in, I'm just going to say 2015, the state of Texas decided that they were going to remove themselves from the federal electric grid, which also meant that they no longer had to comply with federal standards as it applies to the quality and requirements for what a grid needs. On top of that, they don't have to follow the pricing for how federal electric standards are handled. Um, so going through that, as I've heard, the reduction, the lesser quality of the infrastructure that was used in these grids was a contributing factor in how susceptible they were to these cold conditions. They are systems that are normally in place on these sorts of pieces of infrastructure that just weren't in place on these because they didn't have to do it and it was a cost saving measure.
Yes.
Um, on the costs side of it, I don't quite understand how this works fully, but the idea is that because these are privately held companies, they can follow different business models that incur certain risk. So if you were one of the individuals who was without power for many days, you probably wouldn't experience any results of this. But if you're one of the people who had power in below freezing conditions, um, and you kept your heat running the whole time, there are people who are eyeing bills up to $16,000 for a few days of heating electrical usage because these companies rely on a supply and demand model to determine their pricing. And because in these extreme winter conditions, the demand was so high, prices skyrocketed to absurd levels.
Why is Texas so corrupt?
I have a feeling it has to do with individuals like Ted Cruz, who coincidentally went for a vacation in Mexico as this was happening.
10 out of 10. Best transition we ever had.
I wish that wasn't a joke, but it's not.
He even left his dog Snowflake behind.
I'm going to look that up because I don't know if that's been I definitely heard that on social media.
Yeah.
I'm curious if that's like legit though. there's a report from People where apparently Hillary Clinton made a comment on it.
Oh, never mind then.
So Hillary Clinton took a jab at Senator Ted Cruz's political future after his decision to vacation in Cancun, Mexico during the Texas snowstorm. Senator Ted Cruz's security guard cared for his dog Snowflake during widely criticized Cancun trip. Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, that's just really fucked up.
Snowflake leaves snowflakes because of Snowflake.
Jeez.
Did you hear about the Colorado City mayor?
Colorado City mayor. Not from that.
Okay, so he I don't know if I should
Oh
even...
yes, Colorado City, Texas. Yes. Yes, I did. Holy shit, yes, I did.
Swear for the both of us, because I wish I could swear
Oh
at
my
this.
god. This dumb motherfucker. Um, so the mayor of Colorado City, Texas, has resigned after making controversial statements on, I believe, in person and on Facebook. We definitely have the Facebook post that's been saved and widely circulated for posterity.
I
Oh
have it on
my
my
god.
phone.
Do you have it? Would you like to read some passages
Yes, I would love to read
from the
this.
Book of Boyd?
The Book of Boyd.
Oh my god.
And it was said 2 hours ago, according to this post. Let me hurt some feelings while I have a minute. Double exclamation point. No one
That's how
owes
you know he's a bad guy. No one should use a double exclamation point ever.
no one owes you or your family. There's a typo right in that first sentence, ladies and gentlemen.
It's literally the fifth word.
Nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim, it's your choice. There should be a comma there. The city and county, there's a comma there for whatever reason, along with power providers or any other service owes you nothing, in all caps. I'm sick and tired of people looking for I can't say that word, darn handout. If you don't have electricity, you step up and come up with a game plan to keep your family warm and safe. If you have no water, you deal without and think outside the box to survive and supply water to your family. If you are sitting at home in the cold because you have no power and are sitting there waiting for someone to come rescue you because you're lazy is direct result of raising. Yes. I think he used the wrong "your" there, but
he did.
Only the strong will survive and the weak will perish.
Yeah, he used the wrong parish.
Folks, God has given us the tools to support ourselves in times like this. This is sadly a product of a socialist government where they feed people to believe that the few, all caps, will work and others will become dependent for handouts. Am I sorry that you have been dealing with electricity and water? Semicolon? Yes. Exclamation.
Why a semicolon?
I don't know.
Why?
But I'll be darned, he did not use darned, if I'm going to provide for anyone that is capable of doing it themselves. We have lost sight of those in need and those that take advantage of the system and mesh them in to one group, double exclamation point. Bottom line, quit crying and looking for a handout. Get off your rear, did not use rear, and take care of your own family. Bottom line, don't be a part of part of the problem. Be a part of the solution. Double exclamation point. He used bottom line twice. Start off his sentences.
Oh, man. Like, where do you even start with this?
Well, he needs to go back to English class.
No one owes you or your family anything, nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. That is the one job you have. That is the only thing that you do. That is what you're paid to do.
Oh, you know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of, to be a little more topical? The Costa Constantina, the captain on that.
Oh, yeah. Oh man,
Oh, but Tim Boyd, you are
there's
terrible.
he has resigned. Like to everyone's shock, no one could have seen this coming. Oh my god.
Oh,
I particularly enjoy the if you have no water you deal without bit, because no, that's not how that works. When you have no water and you can't find more, you die.
oh, dude. I found a picture of Tim Boyd.
Oh, I'm sure it's exactly what I'm expecting.
I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Tim Boyd.
He looks exactly how he writes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was expecting. God. I've also enjoyed um it like circles back around to the posts during the start of the pandemic when people were looking at empty store shelves from people hoarding things and being like, this is what it will look like under a Biden presidency, when it was already what it was looking like under a Trump presidency. People have been doing the same thing with this about how empty store shelves because people are buying everything up, and making comments about this is what it will look like under socialism when they're dealing with the immediate and painful results of living under capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. And it's especially fucked up seeing some of the pictures that were. I wish they were being more widely circulated. There's a very good picture that I saw someone took from their cul-de-sac that had no power. None of the surrounding area had power, but you could see Austin, the city of downtown Austin in the distance, brightly illuminated in the middle of the fucking night with all these high rises that nobody was in.
Oh, I found another thing about Tim Boyd. He's a
Oh
coward.
yeah.
He
Oh, I don't.
claimed that he resigned prior to posting that so that his post would not be executed as a public figure, but as a private citizen.
There's also been many deaths as a direct result of this, and as a result of that, lawsuits pertaining to it.
I imagine so.
Yeah. Chief among these is the claims that the power companies were making that there wasn't enough electricity for it to be able to go around, while still providing full power to downtown areas where there was nobody, and cutting off the places where people actually lived.
I feel bad for Texas.
I do too.
You know what they need right now? I'm not even going to make a King of the Hill joke. Never mind. Too real.
Yeah.
I was going to say they need propane to keep them warm, but that's. Oh, that's horrible. Um, hug a Texan, everybody.
Yeah.
And Texas, please, please, when it comes to election season, remember all this.
Yes. Remember who these people are that put you here.
Yes. Don't just remember the Alamo. Remember the blackouts. I mean, what else can we say? It's terrible.
Jeez. What else do we have? Okay, did you see the Boeing 777 that had an engine failure?
Oh, the one that dropped parts all over the place?
Yeah, have you seen what it looked like from like on the plane though when it was flying?
No.
Let me send you this. It is striking.
I'm scared.
So because it's 2021, everyone has a phone.
Yes.
There's dash cams and just cameras in general everywhere. So people who were on the plane as this was happening were able to take video of the engine after it had become damaged.
Oh
And this
no.
is still from it.
Oh no. That reminds me of the pod racer scene from the
Yeah,
Phantom Menace.
straight up, it's pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, it's not entirely been made clear what happened yet in this instance. It appears to be that one of the blades on the turbine came loose and would have been, I guess, like sucked into the turbine, which caused the damage to happen. It damaged it in a way that it caused the cowling and everything to fly off. But there's been some pretty amazing pictures of like the debris from it, particularly the giant circular front piece of the engine landing in someone's like front step.
I mean, you know what it reminds me of a little bit?
What's that?
Breaking Bad.
Really?
Yeah, there's a scene when a plane blows up in that.
Huh.
E.
This has apparently been. It's hard to tell. This is apparently a specific fault of these Boeing 777 planes. These are not new planes, these are old. And it seems to be that there is something with the blades of the turbines on these planes that causes them to damage themselves after long term use. In 2018, there's a similar event that happened with a flight at Honolulu. There's been multiple other smaller cases around the world, and as a result, all of these Boeing 777s have been grounded until they can identify a cause. If there is a single cause that's causing all of these very similar issues.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Scary. Absolutely terrifying.
Very scary and incredibly remarkable that no one was injured.
Oh yeah, no. That is competency at work. I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have
It's
it.
also the reason why planes like this have two engines, so because they're made to be able to fly off of one or the other if they need to when something like this happens.
E. Hmm.
And the other thing that I saw pointed out, the engines being wing mounted like this versus closer into the middle of the plane, like underneath it, is because of situations like this. When you have the engines out on the wings, away from the body of the plane, when something goes wrong, the unless it's so severe that the wing itself becomes damaged, the body of the plane itself is almost always untouched. So the actual like structure of the aerodynamics of the plane don't change when the engine gets damaged like this. Whereas when they're on or attached to the fuselage, when you have a big chunk like this getting ripped off, it could make a big gash in the outside of the plane.
Of course.
You know, fun bit of engineering.
Of course. I don't know. Engineering is out of my field.
Yeah. The coup in Myanmar has continued to see protests. Have you heard much about this?
On and off, nothing
I
too
haven't.
detailed.
I haven't seen much in like American Western news about it, other than a few odd articles. The general idea
Chiral. To
is
be fair, though,
what's
we
that?
we kind of just had a coup ourselves, so we kind of don't want that in the news.
We had us an attempt at seditious acts. This is an actual military coup.
Yeah.
This is a successful one too. I'll put it that way. So the Myanmar military, which is probably better known in the U.S. As Burma, I know in my area at least, there's a lot of people who are described as Burmese. Same place though, Myanmar is. The Myanmar military executed a coup on their government, arresting and detaining many of the elected leaders. Um, Starting on the 1st of February, there's been huge protests as a result of this. And about a week ago, like 5 days ish, there was a protest that resulted in the Myanmar military firing on the protesters, killing what I last heard was 5 people.
Oh no.
Yeah. That in turn has resulted in greater protests, including one today that was, this is probably a low number, but it's described as hundreds of thousands of protesters, but it does look like much, much more than that. It's very large.
That's absolutely insane. I mean, it's very hard to comprehend that kind of stuff.
It is. It's very, and I'm sure it is for the people going through it too, because no one expects the military to just take over their government, right?
Yeah.
It's like the being, this is the one thing we didn't want to happen, but it done happened.
Wow. So what? Why are they doing this exactly? What is the military hoping to gain?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up some info about it because I haven't heard. I like typically with these kinds of things, the military will make some sort of claim that the democratic election was actually not democratic, and have in the good cases plans for a future election. But I haven't heard anything like that. So I do understand that Myanmar was under military rule for a long time, relatively recently. So it may be a sort of attempt at the old guard trying to return things to how it was.
Gotcha.
So in 2015, I think it's Aung San Suu Kyi, who was the president who was arrested, detained, led the NLD party to victory in Myanmar's first openly contested election in 25 years.
Hmm.
So where it doesn't really say. Military is put back in charge and has declared a year-long state of emergency, seized control on the 1st February following a general election which Ms. Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy Party won by a landslide. The armed forces has backed the opposition, who were demanding a rerun of the vote, claiming widespread fraud. The election commission said there was no evidence to support these claims. The coup was staged as a new session of parliament was set to open. Ms. Suu Kyi is under house arrest and has been charged with possessing illegally imported walkie-talkies. Many other NLD officials have also been detained. Power has been handed over to the commander-in-chief Min Aung Hlaing, and he has long wielded significant political influence, successfully maintaining the power of the Tatmadaw, Myanmar's military, even as the country moved towards democracy. He's received international condemnation and sanctions for his alleged role in the military's attacks on ethnic minorities. In his first public comments on the coup, General, General? I think it's General. Sought to justify the takeover. He said the military was on the side of the people and would form a true and disciplined democracy. The military says it will hold a free and fair election once the state of emergency is over.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
That is legitimately dictator talk.
Yep. One of the things that they do mention here is the treatment of I believe they're a Muslim minority population, the Rohingya minority population, who has been fleeing from Myanmar into neighboring Bangladesh, I want to say. They're a minority religious group that was being pretty widely persecuted under um, Suu Kyi's prior control of the government. Um, I don't think that's even a factor in this, but it is something important to note because it's kind of like there's not really a good side here,
Yeah.
There's just bad and more bad.
Hmm. Uh, I've got nothing to say because when it comes to like non-traditional Western politics, let's face it, a lot of it's corrupt.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
In other news, the Italian ambassador to the Democratic Republic of the Congo has been killed in a UN welfare convoy near Goma.
Goma.
Luca Atanasio, 43, was a passenger in one of two vehicles traveling about 15 kilometers north of Goma when the attack happened Monday. The vehicles were ambushed by a group of 6 attackers who fired warning shots before taking all of the passengers into the national park.
Hmm.
So when a patrol of the National Park Rangers intervened and managed to free 4 people. Unfortunately, before they ran away, the assailants shot the ambassador and his bodyguard, and they killed the Congolese driver at the start of the attack. Huh.
But,
Just unfortunate. Convoy reportedly belonged to the UN's World Food Program.
yeah. Okay.
Not really clear what was on. It could have just been like an attempted kidnapping that just went wrong. But yeah. It's not clear who was behind the attack, but many armed groups are known to operate in and around the park. Apparently, the Muppets have added a content warning over negative stereotypes.
Of Swedish Chef or just like negative stereotypes in general?
I don't know. Disney Plus has added a content warning to the beginning of 18 episodes of The Muppet Show, which started streaming on the platform Friday. The program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are now. The disclaimer has been added to each of the episodes for different reasons, including one where Johnny Cash sings in front of the Confederate flag.
Oh.
Rather than remove this content, Disney says we want to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and spark conversation to create a more inclusive future together.
That's better.
Interesting. I'd be interested to know more specifics about some of the other episodes.
Yeah.
The 18 episodes of The Muppet Show with the warning have been picked out from 5 series of Jim Henson's series, which was a big hit in the 70s and 80s, and started Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. Aside from Cash, other guest hosts of the episodes in question include Steve Martin, Cleo Lane, Spike Milligan, Debbie Harry, and Kenny Rogers. According to LA Times, the warning refers to negative depictions of people from other cultures, including Native Americans and those from the Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah.
Publication also notes that 2 episodes from the final season are left out entirely, one featuring Chris Langham, who was a writer on the show and stepped into host after a celebrity guest pulled out. The actor, who went on to star in Armando Iannucci's The Thick of It, was sentenced to 10 months in prison in 2007 for downloading indecent videos of children from the internet.
Ooh, that's a big problem.
It's a good reason. Other episodes starring guest host Brooke Shields is absent from Disney Plus for a different reason: music rights. Some of her songs have also had been added out of other episodes because of copyright and licensing reasons. Apparently, this is an ongoing thing with a lot of Disney's older properties. There's a similar warning in front of The Lady and the Tramp because of the Siamese cats in it, perpetuating anti-Asian stereotypes, which is like, yeah, that's fair.
No, that's 100% fair.
Yep.
Even back then, I thought it was kind of a.
Yeah. Disclaimer warnings have been also added to films such as Aladdin, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, The Jungle Book, The Aristocats, and Dumbo. Yeah, Dumbo's got some bad ones.
Doesn't that have the racist crows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think they want to remake these movies because they want to try to get out any like negative stereotypes in them?
No. Not really. I think it's just money.
I mean, more than likely.
Yeah. If Disney wants, and this is exactly what they're doing. They have Disney Plus. They can just re-release these on their streaming platform to make money that way, and add these disclaimers.
Drat.
I do kind of agree with their justification for having these disclaimers rather than just not having these at all or trying to edit these scenes out. Because it is very, it's representative of different mindsets that existed at the time.
Yeah, no, I'd much rather that we have the content and we can learn from it than to just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yep.
Which was something that actually Warner Brothers was doing first, but hey, let's all give Disney praise.
Right.
Although Warner Brothers was a little more in your face about their racism.
They were. In a bit more, I don't even want to call it the serious. I think it's interesting. The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected a bid by Donald Trump to keep 8 years of his tax returns and other financial records out of the hands of a Manhattan prosecutor. The justices, without any explanation or published dissent, refused to block a subpoena to Trump's accounting firm by Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr., whose investigation looms as one of the biggest threats to Trump. So I did hear about that earlier this week, that the Manhattan prosecutors were going straight to Trump's taxes.
Going right for the throat.
Yep, get his taxes, get him on tax fraud kind of thing.
Yeah.
They put in a attempt to block this, apparently at the Supreme Court level, and it's been rejected.
Well, of course.
Yay.
So what now? We just wait.
Yeah, pretty much. There is two primary investigations that are still ongoing as it pertains to Trump. Primarily, there is the investigation in New York regarding a number of things. And there's also the investigation now in Georgia of the phone call that he made that is pretty much like,
Incriminating?
without question, just like a felony.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one do you think is going to win first? New York or Georgia?
I don't know. It's probably Georgia.
I think it's going to be Georgia too because they already got the evidence.
Yeah, and they're just going after one specific crime.
Yeah.
Whereas New York is kind of like all the crime.
Oh, the crime. I'm very curious. Do you think the impact of Georgia's case will have any like tellings on the New York case? So like
No, they seem to be completely separate.
okay.
The Georgia case is. I think if I can make an analogy for this, it'd be like someone commits tax evasion at work and then on their way home from work commits a hit and run. The hit and run is very easy to prove, but is completely separate from the tax evasion.
Okay.
Yeah, Trump was just dumb and blatantly tried to solicit voter fraud in the state of Georgia. And thankfully, the attorney general was smart enough after his past experience with Trump's phone calls to record it from the start.
Could you imagine being the attorney general and just being like, "Oh, here we go again."
Well, yeah, I mean, that's literally it, because he was called once before, apparently, for a very similar thing, and was basically just like, no. And that was the end of that one. And then he just sees Trump is calling again and is like, well, shit, I guess I better record this one.
What are the recording laws in Georgia?
One party consent.
Uh,
Perfectly legal what he did.
okay, I was about to say, did he tell Trump he was recording that?
Nope. And he doesn't have to. With the way that recording laws work in Georgia, as long as one party is consenting to the recording, it's valid.
Damn. I mean, darn, darn.
Darn.
Y'all didn't hear me swear.
Hey, I actually didn't realize this. Have you seen any of the new Magic cards that were revealed?
Nope.
I guess they're not really new. They're just new art styles. Did you see any of the like Japanese exclusive ones they did a few years ago?
Never.
So they did some Japanese language exclusive art for Planeswalker cards.
Okay.
And they're doing the same idea again, but for like classic pieces. So Demonic Tutor, Swords to Plowshares, very traditional Magic cards played in wide formats. Not really good for like standard type formats because they're kind of powerful, but they look fucking amazing. Let me send you these here.
Every time you swear, it just tempts me to swear.
Sorry. That's the wrong channel. Control the enter. But they just look really good.
Okay, I can dig this.
Yep, it's just traditional Japanese art in a Magic card. That's it.
I fell in love with some of the Edo period Japanese art.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one piece called Puppies in the Snow. I'll pull it up. It is adorable.
Yeah, sure.
It's literally just puppies in the snow. There it is. I want this as a poster. Feast your eyes.
Yeah, that's a good poster.
That is
That
a
would be a good poster.
that's adorable. Also,
Why
what?
I am concerned that there's a string on the basket.
I mean, don't you know how you have to catch puppies in Japan?
No.
I don't know.
Why do you have to catch puppies in Japan?
Maybe it's best you don't know.
I think it's best not to know.
Oh, I'm tired. What you looking at there?
I'm skimming for some more stories. Oh, Perseverance has landed on Mars.
Come again?
New NASA mission for a Mars rover, Perseverance. It
Yes.
landed, and we have pictures.
Um,
Space travel.
it's so hard to talk without swearing.
Yeah.
Nito burrito, cool
Yes.
beans.
Very. I mean, there's not much to it yet. Let me see if I can pull up some information about its mission. As far as I know, they're still doing like very early, make sure everything works kind of stuff still.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
almost certain.
I did see a pretty cool, like more social media post than anything else about someone whose father was working on this mission on the piloting side of it. But due to COVID conditions, they're working from home. So he literally landed a rover on Mars from his home.
And that's why he's the coolest.
Yes.
I don't know how you can beat that.
You can't. You just can't.
Can you pilot a space shuttle all the way to Mars from your house?
I cannot. Or apparently, maybe I can. I just don't have the connections to do it yet. Hmm.
Ooh, big questions.
That's positive thinking at work.
I mean, I can drive a car, so I think that's pretty similar.
It's basically the same thing.
Of course. So how long till the Perseverance
Yeah.
gets attacked by aliens?
It's practically already happened, I think. I
Yeah.
do want to point out that I don't know. I think the main goal of Perseverance is more like on the ground scouting more than anything else, it seems like. Um, in this BBC article, though, they describe one of its tools that it has at its disposal, the quote, main science cameras.
As opposed to a regular camera?
I don't know. As opposed to the secondary science cameras, maybe?
Ooh.
I really don't know.
What kind of science camera are they? Are they a biology
I
camera? Are they a physics camera?
I don't know. They are apparently panoramic.
Ooh, panoramic, the one true science.
Controllers this week will perform the critical task of transitioning Perseverance away from the software that got it safely down to the surface of Mars to one that enables the robot to rove and use equipment such as its robotic arm.
Hmm.
We might see the first test drive of a few meters come the weekend. That does not seem like a complete sentence, BBC.
How long before they start doing donuts?
Oh, interesting. There's huge interest in the mini helicopter that traveled with the rover. The 2 kilogram device will perform the first powered flight on another world.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of
Perseverance
funky.
first needs to find the right place to put this aircraft down to conduct its experiments. Mission planner said on Friday it would be a few weeks yet before the robot reached this chosen location, meaning it's probably going to be April before Ingenuity, as the little chopper is known, takes to the skies.
Hmm.
Neat.
I do dig it.
Yeah. I
Certainly.
was watching, what was that from? I was watching some video the other day that was talking about rovers for some reason, and they made mention of the transition away from solar panels because solar panels can get dust on them, which is one of the things that happened in earlier Mars missions, is that the rovers would get dust deposited on them over time, and eventually it would just block off enough of the solar panels that they would not get enough energy to run. And they were lucky enough that small little tornadoes basically would happen on the surface of Mars that would blow the dust off, but it was kind of a random chance thing when it would happen. And the NASA solution to get around that is to strap literal nuclear reactors to all of their devices to power them now.
I mean, it's only Mars.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Just turn Mars into a giant Hiroshima.
About 2 kilometers to the northwest of Perseverance is what looks from satellite images to be the remains of a delta that formed when Jezero was filled by a giant lake billions of years ago. Deltas are created when rivers enter. So they're still looking for water on Mars.
Okay.
It is in the sediments of this believed delta that Perseverance will look for signs of past microbial activity. Neat.
Think out of 10.
Yep.
So when's Daddy Elon taking us up there?
I don't know. He hasn't said yet.
Daddy, I want to go to Mars.
Oh shit, we got some real bangers opening this week.
Oh no. Hit me.
Tom and Jerry.
Okay, when you said bangers, you weren't kidding.
I was not. The legendary rivalry reemerges when Jerry moves into New York City's finest hotel on the eve of the wedding of the century, forcing the desperate event planner to hire Tom to get rid of him. As mayhem ensues, the escalating cat and mouse battle soon threatens to destroy her career, the wedding, and possibly the hotel itself.
It sounds like a Tom and Jerry episode.
It sure does.
What's the point?
It's Tom and Jerry.
Yes. Out of all the plots they could have chosen, that's the one they chose.
Okay, I'm skimming through some of the pictures on Rotten Tomatoes though, and I will say some of this art that they've done for it, for the Tom and Jerry themselves, does look quite nice.
I'm scared.
Like I'm not even being sarcastic. This is actually quite well looking, well done looking, with the fur on Tom.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like it's very unique and it doesn't look bad.
No, I would rather see this in a fully animated movie than like this Roger Rabbit esque stuff.
I don't know. It's interesting.
Hmm.
Because most of I wish all of the art looked that way
Yes.
because all of the rest of it looks much worse.
Yes.
Much, much worse. But that looks good. It's almost got like a matte quality to it.
It reminds me of like some kind of weird Dada like painting someone would make.
I don't know. Actors of note in this. I know very few of these people. Michael Pena, Kim Jong, or Ken Jong, sorry. That's all I know.
Wow.
Yup. No reviews yet. Comes out on the 26th. What day is that? Is that Friday?
They
Yeah,
probably have
Friday.
like an embargo on the reviews.
Probably.
Have you decided what movie you're going to go to see in theaters for the first time in like forever?
First time. I'm not really sure. It'll probably be the James Bond film that comes out later this year.
Okay.
Timing on that would be about right.
I've yet to decide, but I'm not sure.
Wait, let me do a quick skim for what is upcoming. Uh, it's a bunch of chaff mixed in here. What the fuck is this? Cosmic Sin.
Oh, you got my attention now?
Bruce Willis and Frank Grillo star in the new epic sci-fi adventure set in the year 2524, 400 years after humans started colonizing the outer planets. Retired military general James Ford, played by Willis, is called back into service after soldiers on a remote planet are attacked by a hostile alien fleet. The threat against the human race escalates into an inevitable interstellar war. General Ford teams up with General Aaron Ryle Grillo and a team of elite soldiers in a race to stop the imminent attack before it's too late.
That sounds
It looks
awful.
very Halo.
Halo?
Okay. This, like the game, the video
Yeah.
game. Yeah, it's got a very much a vibe like that
Oh
with the outfits
no.
these guys have.
Oh
Let me grab a
no.
screenshot
Oh my gosh, you're not wrong.
here. You know what I mean?
It literally looks like a copy
I
paste.
thought, like, my gut reaction to seeing these costumes was this was some sort of, what was that even called? Because I always forget the name of it mixed up with the stupid Edge of Tomorrow. Do you ever see that? It
Never.
was Tom Cruise. Was actually a pretty good movie. So the idea of it is that it's set in a sort of like near future sci-fi setting like this,
Okay.
where all of the soldiers have sort of similar, like, full body armor kind of stuff like that. And the idea is that they're fighting some alien menace on Earth. And Tom Cruise's character at the start of the movie is kind of, in like very uncharacteristically Tom Cruise, kind of a fuck up and sort of bumbles around, which is actually kind of a refreshing role for him to be playing.
Yes.
Uh, and it gets to this point where he's like first time boots on the ground, never seen action kind of soldier or it's something like that where he's like, I don't remember, he's like a war hero or something, but he's never actually done combat. It ends up in this situation where he is like in the thick of combat, but at the same time completely not ready for it. And he's trying to figure out his weapons and this armor and stuff like as it's happening, and he ends up dying. He gets killed by one of these big aliens, and then it cuts to like a day earlier, and it just keeps repeating this of him going through this like constant loop of the same day of him keeping on dying in this same fight. And it turns out, I don't want to spoil much more than that, but that's the idea, is that it's sort of like Groundhog Day, but as it relates to an alien invasion. And they uncover more about the wider plot of what the hell's going on as the movie progresses.
Interesting.
It's not it's not a bad movie. I wouldn't call it like great or anything, but it explores some really interesting sci-fi concepts. The problem with it, though, I'll send you this poster of it. Every time I've seen the poster for it, it's been this one. And the phrase live, die, repeat is in bigger text than the actual title of the movie.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So whenever I think of it as live, die, repeat, not the actual name of the film, Edge of Tomorrow. And
I,
the name of the actual film lends itself much better to the plot and the concepts that they're exploring.
huh.
But it's actually a pretty well done movie. The visual effects in it are really well done. The like you can see the physical props they have. The actual armor is all really clean, looks really good, and they do explore some really good concepts throughout the movie. It's very entertaining. And you get to see Tom Cruise die a lot. So if you don't like Tom Cruise, that's a big plus.
Well, you had me until then. I like Tom Cruise too much to see him die.
I like him. I like him as an actor. He's kind of a shitty person.
Isn't that all Hollywood?
Yeah, to a point. But then, like, compare that to these dumbass outfits they have in this Bruce Willis movie, and it looks the same.
Praise Xenu for keeping us
It's the
alive.
same, the same visual language. So yeah, Bruce Willis has a. I'm just gonna go on a limb here because it's Bruce Willis. I'm gonna say it's a shitty sci-fi movie.
Oh yeah. No. Okay.
Like, what the hell has Bruce Willis done lately?
Nothing but
It's not
terrible
good.
stuff. He's literally just been making tax deduction movies.
Yep.
So hear me out, right?
Yes.
We make a sci-fi movie about the life, like the origins of Scientology, like the in-lore reasons, like the Xenu stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Change some names around, and then we hire entirely Scientologist actors and see if they can catch on to what we're doing.
Okay.
Yes. Social experiment.
Interesting. Another upcoming film. I have not heard of this one until now. Dark Web Cicada 3301.
Cicada 3301.
I wish it was a documentary, like a high budget documentary based on Cicada 3301, but it
Yeah,
seems like it's more shitty thriller sci-fi.
that's lame. That you got me all
Like,
excited for
I
nothing.
know, same. I just saw the name of it and the cover art for the box art, and I was like, damn, that looks cool. But no, it's just disappointing.
Should we tell people what Cicada 3301 was?
I would instead encourage people to go watch the Lamino. Is that what it is? If you Google Cicada 3301 on YouTube, it's the first video with 23 million views. It's actually really good.
I'm surprised the Internet Historian hasn't covered Cicada.
I don't think he has because there's so many other good coverage of it already. You know?
Yeah. It's
Lamino is a channel that I really like on YouTube that covers conspiracy like related things. And he's done a bunch of really good videos lately, including Cicada 3301, which I think is his most viewed video, and it hits all the bases it needs to.
well, we still have so many questions about Cicada 3301 that it's kind of impossible not to get hyped over it.
It is, and it's all one of those things that's kind of always getting more information about it. So I could see in the near future more things coming out related to it.
Um, for all of you that just want to know what Cicada 3301 is, it's like an ARG that went way too far.
Yep, and is probably a lot of nothing, but
What it could be is very
it's fun
scary.
to speculate on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, their puzzles were way too easy.
Um, in hindsight, maybe, but I feel like at the time they were actually fairly well done.
Well, I was just kind of just making a joke. Because let's face it, those things, unless you had a team full of people, you would not solve that.
No, but people did.
Yeah, well, because
So,
they had a team full of people. We literally had the whole internet doing it.
okay, yes, I guess when you mean it like that, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was a team of individuals
Yes.
working individually.
Well, it was like, weren't they like touching on subjects that like a single puzzle for Cicada 3301 was like physics meets deep music science meets blank, that kind of
It
stuff.
was, to an extent, almost all of it was fundamentally rooted in programming.
Was it?
If you had a deep understanding of programming languages and how they're used, a lot of the puzzles were much easier than if you had an equally deep understanding of, genetic biology, say.
Fair enough.
A lot, like, one of the hallmarks of it was embedding data in images.
Yes.
So you have an image file that's like 100 times the size of what it's supposed to be, and it's because it has more code and data embedded in it through encryption.
Cicada 3301 was weird.
Yeah, it is. Some other movies that are coming up though. Black Widow movie comes out in May, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Apparently. It's supposed to.
How close do you think we're going to get before they delay it again?
I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a North America release in May. I think by maybe a delay of like a month, but by June and July, I think, at least in the US, given our current projections, things are probably going to be mostly back to normal.
What was that again? What time? Some
June, July
I'm gonna hold
is
you to that.
projections that I've seen. I saw I mean, that's why people have been really hesitant to use language like that because people will do that.
Oh yeah.
There's an interview with Fauci the other day that
Oh
I was
no.
watching some clips of, and there's a reason he's as good at his job as he is. It's because he knows when to be diplomatic with his language. And somebody was basically like, um, when are things going to be back to normal? Like something as blunt as that. And his response was something like, well, we can't, we need to be ready to wait until next year. It could be next year before we're back to normal. That's how he started it. So he framed it with that in mind, knowing that, it could be more than a year before we get there.
Yeah.
But given our current projections and how many people that are being vaccinated on a daily and weekly basis, it should be early to midsummer ish.
So he gave an
When,
overestimation before he gave his projections.
yes, like if you just look at the projections that we have right now, it's something like 90% of the US should have at least their first vaccine by the end of June, if it keeps on rate.
Hmm. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. We're also getting a Space Jam movie.
No.
I didn't say I was happy about that.
No.
It is something that is happening, though.
No.
It has LeBron James.
No.
It has Don Cheadle.
Um. Hmm.
I really don't know what to think about it. There's literally no information.
Yeah, this thing has been in production since we were kids.
It's got a date, July 16, 2021.
Oh no. What
Who
are your
is
thoughts on the original Space Jam?
Are you ready for some heresy?
No, I'm ready to hear my own confirmation bias told to me again.
I haven't seen it.
You're not missing out on anything.
From It does seem to be a bit blown out of proportion for what it is as
It's
an outsider.
so bad.
Is a
I've
I feel
never
okay.
liked
So I
Space
would say
Jam.
I feel like a lot of people, because a lot of people saw them as children or
Yeah.
with their children, I feel like they get Space Jam and Who Killed Roger Rabbit mixed up.
Yeah. Okay. Who Killed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
100% worth the hype.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not so much Space Jam.
Space Jam is nothing more than a celebrity endorsement videos guest starring some Looney Tunes.
Yep.
I've never. Okay. I think this is because I'm not a sports guy, right?
It could be. Yeah.
I've never liked anything about sports. Now, the celebrity of it, the closest thing I've gotten is MMA. MMA is something I can get behind, but that's because I enjoy the art of throwing a punch. Now, when it comes to Space Jam and me not caring about basketball, what's in it for me to watch it? Nothing. Maybe the Looney Tunes, but that's about it. And it's just bad.
Yeah. Yep, I get that.
Yeah. What could they possibly do with a sequel?
Nothing new. There's actually quite a few movies planned.
Okay.
Um, I'm the one that I'm looking for that I'm not seeing though is the James Bond movie. I thought that was supposed to come out in like March or April, but I'm just not seeing it.
Hmm.
So, one that I thought, I guess it's just been delayed so many times, I just assumed it had come out already. Free Guy is scheduled for May. Ryan Reynolds action comedy movie. I've seen so much about this, like in the background of other things, kind of like advertisements that I've not really been paying attention to. Have you heard about this at all?
No, go on.
So it's a Ryan Reynolds action comedy film that I thought came out like a year ago, but it must have just been delayed. But the idea is, this is like a one sentence synopsis: a bank teller called Guy realizes he is a background character in an open world video game called Free City that will soon go offline.
Okay.
That That's all we got.
That's it.
Guy is played by Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds continues his trend of making millennial-based movies.
This will be the oh, what was that one? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. I didn't like that movie. I remember I didn't like it, and I never really gave a shit about it. Ready Player One. It'll be the realistic Ready Player One.
Oh no.
Did you see that?
No, but I heard very bad things about it.
I heard almost exclusively good things about it. And you know why? Because none of the people who watched the movie, for the most part, have played video games. It's a video game movie for people who don't play video games.
So like Big Bang Theory for people that actually don't read comics.
Yeah,
Dang.
it was like I I almost want to read the book that it's based on because there are concepts in it that seem explorable from like a future video game perspective.
Okay.
But at the same time, who even fucking, because it's got like, so it's written by Ernst Clive. Who was it that did the movie?
Uh,
Steven Spielberg directed it. I would not trust Steven Spielberg with a video game as far as I could throw him.
you know he almost did the Halo movie.
I don't doubt it. And I'm sure, I mean, I guess this was technically a success. I do not consider Spielberg, someone who is in tune with video game culture.
I really want to know because like I don't think of Spielberg in video games.
Even if you are a person of his age, he's 74, who is a player of video games, I would say at that point, unless you can prove me wrong, and I would have to be proven wrong before I would believe this, I think at that point you're too old to be able to relate to and understand modern video game culture, let alone adapt a novel into a film based on that culture.
I would say Scott Pilgrim versus the World was probably the closest we'll ever get to that.
Yeah, that did it right. The Ready Player One movie, as someone who hasn't read the book but who is very in tune with video game and internet culture, was just cringy. It was just bad.
Oh, you're going to have to take everything back, bro. I love it.
Oh no.
Yes. Oh, it's a picture of Spielberg in a gaming setup, and it's real.
He's playing Rainbow Six Siege, but that's like super alpha Siege. Why was he there? Why would he have been at that event? It doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's not enough for me to buy it, but I don't know.
From what I hear, this is real. I'm looking at an
No, I
article
don't
about.
doubt that it's not real. I still would hold by what I said, though.
Oh, fair enough.
I think he's too old to be able to relate to the culture in a deep enough way to be able to adapt a film based on that culture.
Yeah,
He
I.
is literally a boomer.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. I'm finding just tons of photos of Spielberg at video games. I love it. Don't you feel
Man,
ridiculous now?
I've been clowned.
You've been clowned. You will never understand what it means to be a true gamer like Steven Spielberg. Oh my gosh. Speaking of movies and video games,
Yes.
did we ever get any more news on that Mario movie?
I don't know.
You would think it would have came out last year for like the 35th anniversary.
Mario. It just goes to the 1993 one. I mean, that's valid.
Let's not talk about that.
The Super Mario movie is officially coming in 2022 with Miyamoto involved as producer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
Hmm.
Nothing else.
Nope.
I'm scared about this movie. I want a good Mario movie. I really do.
I hope it's not live action.
No, it's Illumination's doing it.
Uh, well, as long as Miyamoto is like actually involved, I think it'll be fine. Because Illumination does have talented artists that they employ. They just also have a philosophy of lowest common denominator and writing in their design philosophy, their production philosophy.
Are you saying you don't want to see Toad twerk in the film?
I would probably actually die if that happened.
Yeah. Oh,
That would be
Luigi flossing?
gross. Oh,
Miyamoto looks at the image of Luigi flossing, has a tear in his eye, and then it goes, "Finally, my vision realized."
that would be horrible. There are some other movies coming out this year
Go on.
that I haven't heard of yet. Um, Venom 2, apparently, June 25th.
Yes, I did know
Is
that.
that supposed to be Carnage?
Yeah.
Okay, I will say, given that this is just the like, okay, given that this is the poster, that doesn't look good.
Wait, what? There's a poster?
Let me send you this.
Because last
It's
I heard there
on.
was no official poster.
This is what's posted with the listing on Rotten Tomatoes.
That does not look real. I refuse to accept that's real.
I hope it's not. It has Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson listed with it.
Yes, Woody Harrelson's already been confirmed to be Carnage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Let me see. Venom 2.
Venom colon Let There Be Carnage.
Yes, I did
I
know that
hope
was the
that's a
title.
working title. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's a bad name.
Let there be carnage.
Um,
I did hear something kind of interesting about this movie, though.
apparently, there's a trailer.
There
Oh,
cannot be.
that's a fan made trailer. Why would that show up? Google, what the hell is wrong with you?
Clicks, brah. From what I understand, is they actually consulted the writer of Venom right now, Donnie Cates, for help on this project.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know about it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Hmm. That's Naomi Harris. I know that actress.
What's she from?
She plays Moneypenny in the current Bond series.
Okay.
So this is on Wikipedia, which I would trust as being as official as possible. It's listed as the official logo.
The film?
Yes.
Yes, that is the official logo. I've seen that.
Yeah, that's gross.
It's weird.
Does not look good.
It looks too chromy.
Yeah. Apparently Naomi Harris is playing Shriek.
Eh. Eh. That
Yeah,
really
no.
doesn't bother me, but oh well.
She's a good actress, but I don't necessarily trust that anybody involved with this film will have future success as a result of it. It's not their fault.
There was apparently a leak that came out about Marvel Studios a little bit ago from a reputable leaker, but we still don't know if it's 100% real or not.
Sure.
But from what I understand, is they were talking about gaining Venom a 5-minute cameo in Spider-Man 3.
Please don't.
Kevin Feige apparently threw a fit.
I would hope so. They shouldn't. They're not the same. They're clearly not the same universe. They're
No.
so different. Have you seen any of the Purge movies?
No. And I don't plan on it.
Me neither, but they're apparently making another one.
How this concept doesn't even work once.
It did work once as the punchline of an episode for an animated show.
Fair enough.
Do you want to take a guess what they're calling it?
La Purge.
No, but it does have the in it.
I, I said la, but
I mean, that was French for the.
true.
Um, whatever.
El Purgo.
Only in Spanish nations. It is called the Forever Purge.
I quit. Show's over, everybody.
I hope they make a joke in it about sending someone to the Forever Box.
Oh,
That would be hilariously just dumb.
what is this?
Literally, there is no synopsis for it. It is just the next installment in the Purge series. That's all it has.
Why is there a series of movies about one concept and one concept only?
That didn't work the first time and still doesn't work? Yeah, I don't know.
The Purge is something only an edgy kid would ever think would work.
Yep.
I feel like you can make any like off-brand The Purge and would work better than the actual Purge. In fact, I did have an idea for one, but I can't swear, so I can't tell you what my idea was.
Fine, fair enough. Moving from there, the Suicide Squad is
No.
coming out August 6th. I didn't realize they were just going to give it the Fast and Furious treatment.
Oh no.
It's apparently called the Suicide Squad.
No.
I have thoughts. This is apparently the official poster for it, which actually does look quite nice. I like how they've done it up in a comic book style with the actual actors' likenesses in it. It's a good idea. It works.
I like the overall composition of this.
I don't like Idris Elba being cast in it
As
at all.
as
Bloodsport.
I don't know who that is. My
I
DC is
don't
pretty
either.
rough.
I don't either. But I do know he plays Heimdall in the MCU. Granted,
No.
his character's dead, but he still is a very established character in the other cinematic universe.
I would argue a very important one too.
Yeah, like kind of without him, nothing really would have worked.
Yeah.
Is this an ad? You're actually showing a fuck off Rotten Tomatoes. Let me like his character in this doesn't look that different.
Oh no.
Let me see if I can find a picture of this that's not in 144p.
Heimdall, open the gates.
No, fuck off. I want to open the image. I hate that Google changed this. Just give me the image.
Isn't Batman like dangerously close to entering the public domain?
Batman. Not if DC has anything to say about it.
Oh, 2031.
Here we go. That's a better picture. Way
Although I would love to see in 2031 Batman joins the MCU because now he's public domain. What?
This is what I would expect for a parody film.
That doesn't look. That looks like a college humor skit.
It does.
Oh.
It is literally John Cena in a red spandex shirt covered in blood with fucking more. What the hell is that guy's name? Mordock? Whatever the dumb DC villain guy is in the floaty little chair. He's got a dumb chrome hat on. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I don't like how this is color corrected to have a bluish tint.
Yep. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
So who the hell are all of these characters? Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Well, that's Heimdall over there on the right.
It is, isn't it?
Hi, Heimdall. He got the Ragnarok treatment.
So it's still Jared Leto Joker.
No.
John Cena plays a character named Peacemaker. Pete Davidson plays Blackguard. I I know none of these. The Rock is in it apparently.
What was The Rock play?
Who? Black Adam.
Okay.
I don't know. Nathan Fillion, unlisted character. Zoe Saldana, unlisted character. Viola Davis apparently plays Amanda something, but the name's cut off. Amanda Waller. Has Taika Waititi in it? Chris Pratt. I don't think this is right.
He's in it or is
Dave
he
Bautista?
directing it?
He's in it.
That sounds like a bad like advertisement they put in the back of the box.
I think a number of these are wrong. It's apparently being directed by James Gunn.
Yes, I did know that.
Didn't he do one of the Guardians movies?
He did all the Guardians movies.
That's so weird. Like, I get it, but it's kind of weird, isn't it?
Oh, it's totally weird.
The Suicide Squad.
I think the idea is that he made the Guardians of the Galaxy work, and they were like a know nothing from comics.
Not wrong. I'm just worried this is going to turn into Guardians of the Galaxy like 2.5.
No, because James Gunn's already hired to do the third.
So, of the cast that is confirmed, we have Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena as Peacemaker, a ruthless killer who believes in achieving peace at any cost. Cena described him as a douchey Captain America.
Go on.
Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag, which I believe who was in the movie before. Jai Courtney. Oh, Captain Boomerang is back. Hell yeah.
100%. Didn't he die?
I thought he did. No, it was the guy who can escape anything who couldn't escape the one thing.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently Peter Capaldi is in it as Thinker,
Oh,
who is credited only as a highly intelligent supervillain. Then this is where it gets weird. It has Sylvester Stallone listed, but not as a character. But like, wasn't Stallone listed in the end of Guardians 2?
yeah. He was
Like
actually, he made a
cameoed
cameo
as
in
one of
Guardian.
the.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, what the hell? Then we have Viola Davis as Amanda Waller, an agent of Argus who runs the Task Force X program. Oh yeah, no, she was in the first one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also starring Alice Braga as Sociara, Pete Davidson as Blackguard. Don't know. David Dastmalkian as Polka Dot Man, a fictional superhero appearing in American comic books published by DC primarily as a minor enemy of Batman, belonging to the collective of adversaries that make up Batman's rogues gallery.
You know, when they literally have Polka Dot Man, I don't blame them for reusing Joker every 5 minutes.
Right? It's no wonder they keep going back to the same four villains. A criminal who wears a suit covered with polka dots that are actually a variety of gadgets.
Go on.
Apparently, Nathan Fillion is credited as TDK, but TDK doesn't get a link. So who the hell is this? TDK, real name unknown, is okay, and then it cuts it off. Thank you, DCEU Wiki. A meta-human with the ability to detach his own arms, which he uses in combat and crime. What?
I'm still hung up
What's your
about Polka
power?
Dot.
I can remove my arms. That's it. Powers and abilities. He has detachable arms, which he can painlessly detach and beat his enemies with like a club, and regenerative limbs that regrow themselves within a few minutes of detachment. It's literally SpongeBob.
I was about to say,
It's just SpongeBob.
how much you want to bet they do the "I'm armed" joke? Takes off his
Yeah.
arm, uses it as a club, says, "Back off, I'm armed."
Unfortunately, and this is critical, his arms cannot be reattached.
Then what's the point?
He grows new ones.
So he's Piccolo from Dragon Ball.
Yeah, or SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob's a much more apt comparison.
It's Piccolo. Kamehameha. But yeah, what were they doing with this movie?
Wait, behind the scenes, this is some fun facts. The character poster and the logo on his suit, as well as the detached arms flying through the air and Polaroids on a wall, suggest that he may be an adaptation of Floyd Belkin, aka Arm Fall Off Boy, later Splitter, from DC Comics under a different name.
There's not a character named Arm Fall Off Boy.
There is a character named Arm Fall Off Boy in the DC Extended Universe.
Do you want to know why I don't read DC that often?
Is it because of shit like this? Oh my god.
DC went through some weird stuff in their
I'm
history.
just gonna link you this. I cannot even. Plorp.
Plorp.
Plorp is apparently the noise that happens when you rip your own arms off.
You know, just little plorp.
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 And his name is literally Arm Fall Off Boy.
Arm Fall Off Boy. Arm Fall Off Boy. Why doesn't he get his own movie?
Honestly, if I was a villain and some quote unquote hero started ripping his fucking arms off, I'd stop crime. Fuck that.
So you said he can rip off his arms and regenerate them, right?
Yes.
Why is this man not? Why is world hunger a thing?
Good question.
He can literally just keep ripping off his arms.
Oh, wait, we have an answer. This version of Fall Arm Off Boy, pre Zero Hour, is no longer considered part of canon continuity. All history and corresponding appearances of Arm Fall Off Boy were erased from continuity following the events of the 1994 limited series 0 Hour Crisis in Time. Thankfully, Arm Fall Off Boy was reimagined in post 0 Hour continuity using the codename Splitter.
What? Okay.
Don't.
It took him that long to realize the name Arm Fall Off Boy is bad.
I don't think they did a good job with it because that's what they came up with.
Wait, did you post a picture? Oh no.
I posted.
Oh my gosh. That is objectively worse.
Isn't it?
Wait, what's that sound effect? Point? Point.
Point, yes.
Point.
He's gone from plorp to point.
Okay, better question now.
Yes.
Why is there still world hunger if he can detach all of his limbs?
It's a good question. I don't believe he can regrow them. So his must be reattachable? I don't know.
So he's basically a Mr. Potato Head.
I truly, truly don't know.
They shouldn't call him Splitter. He should just be called Mr. Potato Head.
Floyd tried out for the Legion of Superheroes to become a member. He was a final qualifier in the tryouts, but failed after the pressure proved too much for him. He realized he wasn't ready and had a lot to learn. You don't say.
What is life?
I don't know. It's a hellish landscape, apparently.
Can you imagine being the DC editor that has to go through like all this comic history? Because editors have to know that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where's the Elseworld story where Arm Fall Off Boy became Superman? Justice for Arm Fall Off Boy.
I have no idea. Is there anyone else who's of any note in this? Apparently King Shark is in this movie. A man-eating fish-human hybrid. Sean Gunn is in it. What?
So instead of Arm Fall Off Boy, they have Tooth Fall Off Man.
Are you ready for this?
No, I'm not.
Sean Gunn as Weasel, an anthropomorphic weasel.
Please tell.
It's literally DC Rocket.
I was actually about to say it sounds like Willy's Wonderland.
No, it's DC Rocket Raccoon. Like
Yes.
1-to-1 comparison.
Dude, okay, you know how you sent me that comic panel of Arm Fall Off Boy?
Yes.
It's better in context.
Is it?
Yes, I'm going to send you like the two panels like that.
Please do. Other notable characters in the Suicide Squad include Flula Borg playing Javelin, a former Olympic athlete who wields javelins.
No way.
Thank you, DC. Very cool. All right, what you got?
I have to relog into my Discord for whatever reason on my phone.
Fair, fair.
Yeah. I'm just going to look it up on my laptop. I know like the Golden Age comics wasn't exactly that great, but they could have been better. Okay.
It sometimes feels like they didn't even try. What the fuck is this? Greetings, Legionnaires. The time has come for you to meet Arm Fall Off Boy. My, that's an unusual. My power will astound you. Observe as I detach my limb and transform it into a deadly weapon. Die, villain. Yeah.
I told you it was better in context.
I'm glad that at least they knew how stupid this shit was to have it as a joke.
Ah, it's beautiful.
Plorp.
Plorp.
Wow.
Oh, how do you beat Armful Off Boy? Do you
I
think
think you just
he'll?
cut his head off. You just kill him. You just kill him, right? I mean, arm fall off boy's one weakness: a gun.
Do you think he'll like arm wrestle people and like his arm will just pop out of socket and just fall off onto the table?
I have no idea. I really just don't know.
I want to know who wrote that. Who made Arm Fall Off Boy?
I think it's best the world doesn't know.
I must look. Okay, DC Wikia, don't fail me now.
I love the idea that he's like, observe as I detach my limb and transform it into a deadly weapon. It's literally just his arm still.
There was two creators into
Okay.
creating Arm Fall Off Boy. Kurt Swan, who died a month before I was born. Let's see. And Gerald Jones. Oh my gosh, Gerald Jones is currently serving a 6-year prison sentence for possession of child pornography. He was arrested in 2016, initially pleaded not guilty, but changed his plea in 2018 after the police discovered numerous digital devices which stored tens of thousands of images and hundreds of videos, which were classed as child pornography. What is Arm Fall Off Boy?
Honestly, I'm not surprised that Arm Fall Off Boy came from the mind of a pedophile.
Oh, oh, I hurt. I'm in pain.
I don't understand why Marvel is so much more successful than DC.
Oh. I'm gonna post that picture of Armful Off Boy on Twitter. No context.
It's it doesn't make sense.
Could we make a better hero than that?
Yeah, easily.
I don't think we could. Nothing as
He sucks.
stupidly iconic. Oh.
I mean, like literally just man with a gun.
Yeah.
1v1 wins every time.
Batman's parents, the guy who killed Batman's parents, could be Armful Off Boy.
Skrell or something like that.
Oh, dude. Okay. Fun fact. So Marvel has a database that tells like the baseball card stats of all their characters.
Yeah.
And if you look at the stats for Uncle Ben, and then the guy who shot Uncle
Oh
Ben,
no.
yes,
Oh
the
no.
guy who has who the stats of the guy who killed Uncle Ben has one higher in everything than Uncle Ben exactly.
That's foul. Why they gotta do him like this? He's already been killed so many times.
Oh, poor Uncle Ben.
Oh man.
I have to look it up now. Uncle Ben stats.
I'm gonna keep skimming through other upcoming films.
Oh yeah, we did kind of get on
A
Little
little
Punisher.
bit. Oh, Cruella, thoughts?
Um, it's just Joker, but with Emma Stone.
Yup. I saw one take on it that was like, "Oh, it's fine for doing or for Disney to be doing these villain movies. It's people resonate with these." And I just can't help but thinking, maybe if you resonate with the person who wants to like murder dogs, you might want to do some introspection first.
Michael Vick would like to know your location. Yes. By the way, anybody who wants to know, the stats of Uncle Ben is a 2 in intelligence, a 1 in strength, a
Oh,
2 in speed, a
what's
2
the max for intelligence?
7,
Oof. Oof.
a 2 in durability, a 1 in energy projectile, and a 1 in fighting skills.
I'm sorry. Wait, a one in energy projectile?
Yes.
Am I missing something here? Why is that not a zero?
Probably because he can spit.
It's not an energy projectile. It's just spit. I can projectile vomit. Therefore, I have energy projectiles.
Vomito.
It's better than arm fall off boy.
Do you think he ever just like sticks other things in his like little armhole that don't belong in there?
I don't want to think about that, honestly.
You think he just takes the arm off a Rock'em Sock'em robot and put it in there?
Like Deadpool with his little baby hand.
Oh no. Oh. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, the man who said with great power comes great responsibility, that epic quote has a 2 in intelligence.
Yeah, like that doesn't really make sense to me, but I guess maybe it's not on a linear scale kind of thing.
I don't know. I'm just I'm kind of
But
just
yeah,
riding the wave.
it's something.
But Cruella, yeah. Um, Emma Stone. I have like a minor crush on Emma Stone, so I kind of liked it.
Do you know how many Fast and Furious movies we've had now?
We're in porn numbers, right?
We're at nine.
Yeah.
Nine.
Yes.
Fast and Furious 9 comes out in May. And this is kind of gross. Then, I guess, Dom and Letty's son is named Little Brian.
Go on.
I don't. That's all there is. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
That seems a bit kind of gross. This time, that threat will force Dom to confront the sins of his past again. If he's going to save those he loves most, his crew joins together to stop a world-shattering plot led by the most skillful assassin and high-performance driver they've ever encountered, a man who also happens to be Dom's forsaken brother Jacob, played by John. No, there is nothing there that makes any sense.
Hmm.
John Cena is Vin Diesel's brother. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apparently, Helen Mirren has a role in it for some reason. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Thoughts on shit, what's it called? Winter Soldier and Falcon, whatever the hell they're calling that TV show. Now that we have a
Oh,
trailer for it.
I have no interest in it.
Same. I thought it was a cool idea at first. After seeing the trailer and the sort of direction they're taking it, completely dead. No, don't really care.
Yeah, I feel like they're just trying to rehash Winter Soldier into a TV show.
Yep.
Like,
Not even that. It's just way too buddy cop.
is it? I didn't see the trailer.
It looks like it's leaning way too much into like the uh Winter Soldier is like, the grizzled veteran,
Oh
do things by the book,
no.
by the strategy, and then Falcon comes in and is just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do it, get it done to get it done. And it's just like, no, come on, that's not right.
Bruh. Isn't he supposed to be Captain America right now anyway?
Yeah, but they don't show him with the shield, so I don't know.
That's wrong. That's a party foul.
Like they have like a whole scene in the trailer of him like looking at a Captain America like diorama at like a museum or something, and like this big, is he really Captain America? Can he be Captain America? No, fuck off. He's Captain America. At least show him trying.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of hard to compete with WandaVision.
Right. It really is because they've like shown that they can do a serious film, or a serious TV series with real stakes and plot, and it just doesn't look like this is that.
No, it doesn't. Like, I just feel, I don't know. It's like a step back in the wrong direction.
Yep.
I think they swung way too hard with WandaVision, got us all way too excited. And then if they couldn't deliver anything exactly as like interesting of as a concept of as WandaVision. WandaVision it's in itself is just a mystery that we're still
Yep.
trying to figure out. Whereas Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you look at the trailer and you know what you're getting.
Yep. Apparently there's a movie coming out in 2021 slated for September 10th, 2021 called Malignant. Um there are no pictures. There's one picture. Sorry. There's one picture. There are no trailers. And the movie info only has plot to be determined, and that it's being directed by James Wan.
Good on them.
That's literally it.
Oh snap! I just got a
There,
new news story come in.
there is no plot for this movie. What you got?
Japan has appointed a minister of loneliness. The role aims to reduce loneliness and social isolation among Japanese residents as the country deals with its rising suicide rates.
Yeah, that is a problem they got.
Yeah. I'm we need a minister of loneliness.
I actually saw a really good take on Twitter the other day that was talking about how a lot of the resources that are being put into um, like mental health awareness and support services in general have been good, but also how there's been practically nothing addressing the underlying reasons as to why there are so many people with mental health problems.
Oh no, they're trying to put out the fire and they're not trying to figure out where the fire comes from.
Yep.
But I think that'd be a little too much of a conversation for most people.
Probably.
Yeah.
Much more on an arm fall off boy plorp vibe.
We can figure out why where the arm fell off from, but we can't figure out how to reattach it.
I don't understand how a movie can be scheduled for a release. It was apparently scheduled for release in August of 2020. It was bumped because of COVID to September of 2021, and there's not a plot.
Hmm.
There's just nothing.
I feel like there's several movies going on here right now, though.
It's an original horror thriller from James Wan. There's nothing on IMDb. There's nothing on Rotten Tomatoes. There's nothing on Wikipedia. There's just nothing.
Hmm. I'm not sure.
Just weird.
It is weird.
That's about. I think that's all I have for movies.
It's more than I had.
Everything else is already been talked about or too far out.
Um, by the way, if you haven't finished watching that Daft Punk video by now, what the hell have you been doing?
Seriously, it's been like 2 hours.
Yeah, come on, man. Get yourself together. Arm fall off boy would have it done by now.
He would. He'd just go plorp and it's gone.
Plorp. I'm not going to get that out of my head now.
So stupid.
I feel like he needs to be the unofficial mascot of this podcast, but then I remember we have standards.
Yup.
Is this the end of the show?
I think so. I think we'll
Okay.
call it there.
I think that's more than enough.
Yeah.
I'm Miss Orion, and I've been a plorp,
Cairo and I've been a schmo.
and this has been the Two Schmo Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Plorp.